I'm just like, every time I read that, I just try to place myself in his situation. Just to think how emotionally draining that would be. Physically draining as well. How that would empty me completely. How totally humbled I would be to be able to buy a harlot back. And I believe, this is what I believe. The reason he was able to do that was because he understood God's love for him. So we're going to go back and we're going to really break down chapter 2, verses 14 through 23. I think here we see three things God aims to do for his wife. God aims to do for his harlot. Verse 14. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak kindly to her. Every time I read that, I think of a young couple who's in a party, you know, they're like, oh yeah, loud, everything's loud. And then he catches, you know, eye contact. He catches eye contact. And he sees this girl that he's in love with, you know. And amidst all the noise, he pulls her aside, takes her outside where it's just them, and speaks kindly to her. Whispers, speak nothing. You're cute. And that's what God wants to do with us. Even though we are filthy, we are dirty, we are unworthy, he wants to allure us. When he says speak kindly to her, he doesn't say, in the Hebrew, in its context, it's not talking about just speaking to her mind, but speaking to her heart, getting intimate with her, having her see his love, to pull her aside and say, I love you. No matter what you did, I love you. So the first thing I think he wants to do is allure his wife. The second thing, we're going to jump around here, is verse 15 and 18. Verse 15, it reads, Then I will give her her vineyards from there, and the valley of Acre, and the door of hope, and she will sing there, as in the days of her youth, as in the days when she came up from the land of Egypt. Verse 18, In that day I will also make a covenant for them, with the beasts of the fields and the birds of the sky and the creeping things of the ground. I will abolish the bow and the sword and war from the land, and I will make them lie down in safety. As a father, as a husband, it is our responsibility to offer security to our family. And that is God's desire here. He said he wants to abolish the bow. He wants to abolish the sword. He wants to abolish war. He wants to make a covenant with every living thing. Birds, beasts, creeping things. He wants to provide for her by giving her the vineyards back. He wants to make her feel secure. This person who is undeserving, who puts him aside, who keeps running away from him, he wants to allure her and make her feel loved and secure. Have her feel the warm fuzzies. That's what he wants. That's what he longs for. When it's talking about the valley of Acre, you need to understand where that comes from. In verse 15 it says, And the valleys of Acre as a door of hope. Who knows what the valley of Acre is? Let me explain real quick. Back when Joshua and the Israelites, they just defeated Jericho. The walls came down, and they utterly defeated Jericho. And God commands them, destroy everything. And this one man, named Achan, decides to hoard for himself treasures. So he buries it under his tent. The next battle, in the valley of Acre, they battle with the city of Ai. And they get utterly defeated. They get dominated. Just like the Jets got dominated last week. I mean, they got torn up. And it's because of one man's sin. One man's selfishness. And so forever that place was remembered as a place of defeat, as a place of failure. That valley of Acre as a place of destitute and loss. And yet here, God says, I will take that and turn it around. I will make that a valley of hope. He wants to take our bad and use it for good. That is love.